This is the population projection of San Francisco. In 2030, adults aged 60 and older will account for 26% of the city's population. This estimation is concerning because over the past decades, the city's senior population living below the federal poverty line has been rising. This trend might also place a strain on the city's already expensive rental market. Data from the Census Bureau shows more than 47% of seniors in San Francisco are renters, way higher than the national average of 22%. For years, the city has developed one of the most robust affordable housing policies in the nation to house its growing low-income residents. Affordable housing units in San Francisco now stand above 22,000, with more than 6,000 units in development. But the problem is that these affordable options are often out of reach for the city's older adults. And many of them are now facing a choice, whether to pay for the food on their tables or the roof over their heads. To begin with, let's talk about the difference between public housing and affordable housing. Public housing is for low-income populations and overseen by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. It comes with cheaper rents because the construction is publicly funded and the rents are subsidized, which can be set as low as 10% of the tenant's monthly income. Affordable housing, on the other hand, is developed by private entities using financial incentives from the government, such as tax credits. It aims to speed up the construction of below-market rate units by outsourcing the funding. In the case of San Francisco, the city relies on nonprofit and for-profit developers to build these affordable units. Under the federal standard, the occupants of affordable housing should pay no more than 30% of their gross income on rents and utilities. The tricky thing is, these affordable units often base their rents on the area median income or AMI, which is the midpoint of a region's income distribution. This policy has led to a huge affordability crisis.
There is definitely a housing crisis facing seniors and people with disabilities. Rents are just sky high and they keep going up. And the city's affordable housing program is really not currently meeting the needs of very low income and what's called extremely low income seniors and people with disabilities.
Most affordable units in San Francisco target their rents at 30 to 50% of AMI, which means a one-bedroom apartment can be rented for $799 up to $1,333 per month. Yet, over 75% of senior renters report their actual income levels are below 20% of AMI. That is, below $1,775 for a two-person household. This gap indicates many seniors are spending up to 75% of their income just on rent each month. Besides, renters have to first meet the minimum income requirement to qualify for these affordable units.
Renter or an applicant is required to have 3 times the rent in their income. So if the rent is, maybe it's $1,000 a month, which would be pretty low for San Francisco, but that means your income has to be $3,000 a month. $36,000 a year, which is just out of reach for so many people.
There are several reasons why a senior household might end up living in an affordable unit that doesn't match its income level. To start, the income of many seniors is simply too low to apply for any affordable housing, especially when the rents are tied to AMI, which in San Francisco has been pushed up by more than $12,600 in the past decade. Many seniors need subsidies to cover rents, but most financial aids are not permanent. Also, older adults generally see their income dwindle in retirement while rents, which might have been affordable a decade ago, keep rising. But for those who have spent years on the wait list but still have no luck moving into public housing, the only way to not fall into homelessness is to bear these rental burdens.
我的名字叫邵燕珍，我现在已经是退休了。我退休今年应该是第5年了。
Xiao and her husband moved to San Francisco from Hong Kong more than 2 decades ago. They've lived in this one-bedroom affordable unit since 2007 and are still on the wait list for public housing, which for them is the truly affordable option that they've been applying for since 2002. The ever-climbing rent of this unit remains the biggest concern for their livelihood.
那么，因为我们的经济退休金比较低，那么政府就补助着 SSI， 加起来 total 总数差不多1600、1700的这样子的收入每个月。那么一个月就是那么1700块，你租金都要付出1121块，是不是？我们收入的70%呢？这个租金是非常之高的。租金我们不能欠的，一定要先付着租金，以后剩下的我们就拿来生活。那么他这里是每一年都加租啊，他加租的那个幅度有时候加40块，有时候加30多块。作为一个住客在这里，没有机会给我们讨论的空间，只有他讲，只有他发个信件，发个 memo 给我们，我们就要加了。
One possible solution to help these seniors is to develop more housing and base its affordability on the actual income of tenants. That means if a household only earns $1,800 per month through Social Security, the rent can be set at 30% of it, $540. But under the current economy, this approach isn't feasible as no developers will take the deal if there is no guaranteed revenue through rents to pay back loans and investments for new construction. And that is why subsidy programs have become an imperfect alternative to support low-income seniors. These subsidies can be project-based, such as the city's ongoing Senior Operating Subsidies Program, or SOS, that funds senior renters living in designated affordable units. Or they can be tenant-based, through which seniors can use the subsidies on any housing options they desire. But the basic idea is the same. The seniors pay a portion of rent depending on their incomes and the city covers the rest. Since it was created in 2019, the SOS program has seen initial success in providing direct financial relief to low-income seniors. And at the urging of activist groups, SF Mayor London Breed agreed to allocate $4 million to SOS in her 2022 to 2023 affordable housing budget plan. This program is expected to add 150 additional subsidized units over the next 5 years.
There's an argument that why are we giving private landlords money so they can charge these exorbitant rents? I agree with that, but if we don't have a better option and that's what's going to keep senior and disabled people in their places, then let's pay it. Data shows that huge numbers of people who are homeless in San Francisco once had housing in San Francisco. And so many of them are seniors and people with disabilities where there was one crisis that basically pushed people out of their housing.